Okay, let's have that beautiful kirtan. Carry on, Mata. Read for the kirtan, Mata.
Should I start?
Yes, please.
Okay. Namayo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanto Swami Niti Namine Namayo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanto Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Passato Deshitarine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Passato Deshitarine Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Nana Vraja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Jayo Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Srila Prabhupada Jayo Jayo Prabhupada Jayo Srila Prabhupada Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. I remind me of my old times in Mayapur. Thank you, Mata. Never stop singing. Okay. Okay. Now, this is the question. Who has the book or who has the thing we're going to read?
Yes, Guruji. So, day after tomorrow, my exam. That's why I cannot able to continue with the class.
I understand. No problem.
Anyone? So, can anyone please share? Because I already shared in the chat box the link of the Prabhupada Transcendental Diary book.
Okay. Let me just get this.
Just click on this.
This one. Okay. So we're in the volume 1.
Yes, volume 1, chapter 2.
Chapter 2. Oh, Vrindavan Dham.
Yes, and one point.
So where did we stop in the
Last time? Yes. So we stopped was he ended with reference to the multi-nation status of his candidate.
let me see. Since December 3rd. Did you read that? December 3rd. Today I give Srila Prabhupada a new tilak mirror. So we read that.
Wait, yeah, I can repeat one minute. So last line, we were now today we'll start from he ended with the reference to the multi-nation status of his
Okay,
candidate.
got it. So it's everybody. How do I do this? You're gonna share the screen with everybody?
Yeah, please, you come back on Zoom apps again.
I come back where?
On Zoom apps. Okay. Dimple.
I'm here.
Can you 1 minute, Prabhuji? Are you Mataji or Prabhuji? I think Mataji. Okay. Can you unmute yourself?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes. Are you using phone or laptop?
I'm using my computer, yes.
Okay. Can you share?
Sure.
I'm
Okay,
seeing
Prabhuji.
the book in
Yeah.
here, but I'm not seeing anybody else.
Okay, no
Oh,
worry, Prabhuji. Mataji will today, he will, what you call,
okay.
will do. Okay, please, yeah, please.
Can you see?
Yes, please. Can you
So
make
we are
it,
starting with he ended.
yeah, can you make it big screen, in a cross and minus point, in the middle of cross and minus point, you can type and it will become not like that. It is called, what you call, big screen, big screen.
Yeah, just a second. Let me do that.
Yes.
Let's see here.
Then
Okay.
this Mataji will help today us. Thank you, Mataji.
No worries, Prabhuji.
So everyone, today I will not attend a full class.
Thank you,
So,
Prabhu. I wish you a wonderful
thank you, Prabhuji. Please bless me. All devotees,
exam.
please bless me.
Very soon, we're going to talk to you in Canada. Don't worry.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Now I can leave.
Okay.
Is it better now?
Yeah, he ended with a reference.
Yes.
Okay. Shall we go?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Haribol. Okay. He ended with a reference to the multinational status of his candidates. This kind of duty was entrusted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to the Indians. Bharata Bhumite Haila Manusa Jama Jara Jama Sartara Kara Upakara. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission that every Indian should learn what is this Krishna consciousness and preach it all over the world. That is his order. But our Indians are not taking care of it. Therefore, it doesn't matter, Indian or Europeans or American, who will carry the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he'll be benefited. He'll be glorified. So don't be hesitant because the soul is neither India or American. Aham Brahmasmi. Every one of us, we're part and parcel of Krishna, and our position is Brahman. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma. So from that platform, you go on preaching Krishna consciousness. By executing the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you will be glorified. The country will be glorified. The whole world will benefit. Thank you very much. One by one of the three men came forward in their new dress as sannyasis. I think Prabhupada just gave this lecture into the sannyasi initiation there. Bright-faced and enthusiastic, they humbly received their three dandas and the title Swami, as the entire assembly of devotees loudly cheered, Haribol, Jaya. Then everyone threw grains into the sacrificial fire to complete the ceremony. Afterwards, excuse me, the three new sannyasis all came into Prabhupada's room to receive his blessings. Prabhupada sat at his desk next to the fireplace, giving each a garland and encouraged them to go out and preach immediately. It clearly delights Prabhupada to see his disciples commit themselves fully to the service of the Supreme Lord. On the basis of such surrendered disciples, he is able to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world. Yet, Prabhupada is not indiscriminate about awarding sannyas. Recently, two boys arrived from Germany, Alanat and Suchandra, asking permission to take sannyas. Prabhupada discussed the request with Hansadutta, as well as Bhavananda and Sudama Maharaj, who had just arrived from New York. Prabhupada indicated that he considered the boys a bit young to accept sannyas. He warned them that it is very difficult to remain in the renounced order, especially in the Western countries. He cited the example of two of his leading disciples, both GBC men, who have fallen victim to Maya after becoming sannyasis. Prabhupada explained, Maya is very, very strong. Butter is sure to melt when there is a fire. He artistically gestured, waving his left hand in the air, bringing his right hand to meet it from below. Even if the butter is here, the fire will come. I tried to think of so many ways to keep them separate, but it was not possible. They are spirit, soul, of course, but Maya is very strong. Bhavananda and Sudama Maharaj are staying here for a few days before leaving for Bengal. They plan to hire two 40-foot long boats to travel to all the villages along the Ganges. They want to perform kirtan, distribute prasadam, and recruit new devotees. Prabhupada decided that the two German devotees should go with them for further training. This boat, I think, is the Nitai Pada Kamala, that we personally travel in this boat for 6-8 months, going in different villages, through the river Ganges. That's another story for next Sunday. Not everyone is happy to see a new sannyasi. Since his arrival, Ansaduta has also approached Prabhupada for sannyasi, but his wife, Himavati, heard about it in Germany and immediately rushed to Vrindavan to voice her objection. She was very upset, but Srila Prabhupada pacified her. Nevertheless, she is still adamantly opposed to her husband taking sannyas. Therefore, Prabhupada is not encouraging him to do so. Hansadutta is somewhat confused about what to do and wants Prabhupada to decide his fate. But the Srila Prabhupada won't give him a direct instruction. He's leaving it to Hansadutta to make the decision. Okay, let's see the next one. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes. Thank you.
Hare
Carry on.
Krishna Priya. This afternoon, while Prabhupada rested upstairs, he noticed that the water pot in his room was empty. I thought of taking it downstairs to fill it was evident since Srila Prabhupada had instructed me not to leave his presence. I got in a quandary. If Srila Prabhupada wakes up and I'm not here, that will not be good. On the other hand, if he asks for a drink when he wakes up, then he will have to wait. I wasn't sure what to do, but decided it was best to wait. Sure enough, though, the first thing Prabhupada did when he woke was to sit at his desk and tell me to fill his glass. I diffidently explained there was no water in the pot. I would have to go downstairs to get it. He asked me, did you not think about filling it while I slept? I explained my dilemma, and Srila Prabhupada tipped his head a little, all right. But his tone indicated it was second best. From this incident, I can understand that although it is essential to follow the instruction of the spiritual master closely, a little intelligence in the application of those instructions is also required. First class servants will anticipate the need of his spiritual master rather than simply wait to be told everything. One who is expert at pleasing the Guru can do many things on his own initiative and still adheres strictly to all instructions. Our intelligence shouldn't be stereotyped but inflexible. December 4th, 1975. On the walk this morning, Akashananda Swami told Srila Prabhupada that people sometimes ask his opinion about a local Babaji who is building a big temple on the Vrindavan Mathura road. We crossed the fields, we could see it in the far distance, an unfinished edifice as yet. It is reported that it will house various deities in its lower chambers and the Babaji's personal quarters on top. This man is well known for smoking large quantities of cigarettes, thus earning him the nickname Pagal Baba. Pagal means crazy. Akshananda said that he answered people's queries by explaining that our Guru Maharaj does not approve us of smoking cigarettes. Invariably, they say, but Pagal Baba smokes. Akshananda then responds that because he's Pagal. When They agreed. Prabhupada also agreed. He said that our two realistic principles will expose so many persons as frauds. This led to a lively discussion about the sometimes confusing difference between the following in the footsteps of great personalities and imitating them. Mukhyananda Maharaj said that many people eat meat because they claim that Lord Ramchandra did. Father quickly fired back, Lord Ramchandra can eat you and the whole universe. Can you do that? They all laughed. A few words from Prabhupada exposed the rascals. As we walked along in the early morning sunshine, he clearly I'm so sorry. As we walked along in the early morning sunshine, he clearly defined the difference between Lord Rama and the ordinary living being. And as a final thought, he pointed out that Lord Ramchandra is not offered meat in any temple. So why should anyone claim that because the Lord ate meat, therefore he can? He explained that the Krishna also ate the Pandava fire, but he doesn't say offer him fire. He says a little fruit of Lord some water. Prabhupada is expert at exposing the faulty logic of the unscrupulous who try to justify their loves by constructing Shastra and the activities of others with whom they cannot compare. He doesn't take the short and easy road to defeat them. Rather, they say simply that Lord Ramchandra never ate me. He chose to explain the more difficult to grasp, ultimately more relevant point that there is a vast difference between the incarnation of the Lord and ordinary man. Therefore, they should not be imitated, but instead their instruction followed. Class was very interesting, with Prabhupada continuing with the second verse from Prahlad instruction to his school friends. After chanting the Sanskrit, Hare Krishna read out as the yet unedited translation. In this human form of life, there is chance to go back to home, back to Godhead. Therefore, every living entity, especially in this human form of life, must be engaged in devotional service. That devotional service is natural because Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of the Soul, the Super Soul, is the most beloved being of all other living beings. Prabhupada explained that the Vedic literature describes three stages of spiritual development. Sambhadna, to know our relationship. Mataji, थोड़ा ऊपर. To know our relationship with the Lord, be there to act accordingly, and prayojana, to attain the purpose for which we establish our relationship. Sambhadna jnana means that first we must understand our relationship with. Without knowing our relationship, we cannot act. Even on the material platform, he gives several pertinent examples to show how a sense of relationship motivates a person to act. Similarly, unless we know our relationship with God, why would we want to serve Him? Srila Prabhupada also emphasizes the need for proper Gurukula education. Construction of the Gurukul is now underway here in Vrindavan. In Prabhupada has high expectation for it. He said where every child should be trained in the principle of Bhagavatamrta. This should be taught to the children, otherwise when he is engaged in so many nonsense services, it will be very difficult to drag with him from his false engagement and again establish him in Krishna service. So when we are children, we are not polluted. We should be trained of being Bhagavatamrta. That is Prahlad Maharaj subject matter. We are serving. The birds are serving, they have got small kidneys children, they are picking up food and working very hard and bringing it in the mouth. And the small kiddies, they are chanting, Mother, Mother, give me, and eat food. This service, don't think that is without service. Everyone is serving. Man working hard day and night. Why? To give service to the family, to the children, to the wife. The service is going on. He does not know where to give service. Therefore, Krishna said, give me service, you'll be happy. This is the philosophy, Bhagavad. Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Next.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhu.
Next,
Tanvi Pranav.
Namaste Mata. Yes. Hare Bol.
Yes. When Prabhupada returned to his rooms, he sat for a few minutes before breakfast, talking about the unfortunate state of the world. Hansadota and I sat before him. Prabhupada relaxed, leaning back against the soft bolster on his seat. He delivered a sharp critic of the leaders of society, the politicians, and educators for misleading people and creating a thoroughly hellish solutions for everyone. He explained how the entire world is becoming increasingly chaotic and demonic, causing suffering to people. He searched for an appropriate word to summarize it. They have made it a pen. What is that? He couldn't figure out the word he was looking for. Pandemonium. Just look it up. Prabhupada's choice of words seemed a bit quaint to me, but when I read out the definition of pandemonium in the dictionary, I saw that Prabhupada had used precisely the correct word to convey his point. It said pandemonium, pandemonic, abode of all demons, any place of lawlessness, violence, and uproar, utter confusion. He all laughed, and Hansadutta and I looked at each other appreciatively. Prabhupada has a surprising command of the English language. Day by day, new aspects of his extraordinary character are revealed. And we are extremely grateful that Krishna has sent us such a wonderful spiritual master. After lunch, Srila Prabhupada went upstairs to take rest, which is his usual routine. Today he had me up his bed. A simple wood farmed cot crisscrossed with thick white cotton strapping and covered with a thin mattress and sheet. Outside on the front terrace of his room, he slept peacefully in the sunshine with the domes of Krishna Balram Mandir towering above, benign and protective. I remained in the small room on the roof. Feeling a little tired, I sat on the edge of what I thought was a spare wood base bed in one corner of the room. As one of the guest house beds with a sponge mattress, it did not appear that Srila Prabhupada had ever used it. The next thing I knew, Srila Prabhupada was waking me up. Rising after his nap, he had come to the door to find me sound asleep on the bed. He gave me a gentle shake, and I jumped up quite embarrassed and apologetic. Prabhupada was not annoyed, but he did comment very kindly. If you are fatigued, that is all right. You can rest on a mat on the floor, but whatever is the spiritual masters should never be used. Moving over to sit at his desk, he asked, "So what is your name?" Certainly, you must have already heard it many times over the last few days, so perhaps it was the way of making me feel more comfortable. It relieved me embarrassment, making me feel that he is getting to know me on a more personal basis. Very sorry, Srila Prabhupada. I said in my broad northern English broad.
Haritali. These are strong. Carry on, please.
Hari Shauri, Prabhupada corrected in his elegant Bengali accent. Giving me a warm smile, he asked for some water. December 5th, 1975. It is hard to say when Prabhupada's day begins and when it ends, because he never seems to conclude his activities in the way we do. He only rests for a few hours each day, and even that is intermittent. Srila Prabhupada maintains a remarkably regulated daily routine. While here in Vrindavan, his schedule is 6 a.m. wash, brush teeth, and take Ayurvedic medicine. 6:30 to 7:30 a.m. morning walk. 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. greet the deities, Guru Puja, then Srimad Bhagavatam lecture from the 7th canto. 9 to 9:30 a.m. breakfast of fruits and chira. 4:45 to 11:15 a.m. rest on roof for an hour and then meet people usually by appointment. 11:15 to 1:15 p.m. massage with oil. 1:15 to 1:45 p.m. bathe. 1:45 to 2:30 p.m. lunch prasadam. 2:30 to 3 p.m. sit in room or chant japa. 3 to 4 p.m. rest. 4 to 5 p.m. meet with specific people or devotees or chant. 5 to 6:30 p.m. give public darshan. 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. meet public or senior devotees, GBC business or just chat. 9:30 to 9:30 p.m. take hot milk, massage and rest. 12 to 1 a.m. rise and translate. 5 a.m. light rest or japa. Srila Prabhupada's typical routine goes something like today. After his all-night translation work, he stopped at Mangla Aarti time and lay back against the bolster with his feet up. He slept lightly for a short time. At 6 o'clock, he went into the bathroom to wash, brush his teeth, and freshen up. He came back and sat for a few minutes as he put on tilak. When that was completed, he took a reddish Ayurvedic medicinal pellet called Yogendra Rasa. After I had crushed it with a large roasted cardamom seeds and then mixed it with honey in a small oval mortar, he added a little water. He drank the mixture straight from the mortar, scraping up the residue with the pastel which he then deposited on his tongue with an elegant twist of his fingers. Then Prabhupada prepared to leave for his morning walk. Getting up from his desk, he stood patiently as I helped him on, first with his uttariya, the saffron top piece traditionally worn by all sannyasis, then with his heavy saffron colored coat and his woolen hat. I finally hung his bead bag around his neck, all the while he conversed with Hansaduta, Akshananda Swami, and Gopal Krishna. As he walked toward the door, I rushed ahead to place his cane directly into his hand. I then positioned his shoes so that he could step into them and out of his slippers in one easy movement. All while I was holding the door open, it is somewhat of an art to manage all this without delaying or interrupting Prabhupada's steady progress out. The expectant devotees waiting outside enthusiastically shouted Jai Srila Prabhupada as he appeared, offering their obeisances and a garland. Smiling and modest, he returned their greeting with Jaya Hare Krishna. The privileged few went on the day's walk, gathered closely around him as he made his way up the side of the temple and out the front gate into Tattikara Road. Heading west into the countryside beyond the boundary of Vrindavan village, we walked for exactly half an hour, as far as a solitary house named Moda Place, and then back. Prabhupada's gait is surprisingly swift and strong, and by the end we were struggling to keep up. At precisely 7:30, he entered the temple from the side door and waited patiently as the pujaris swing back to the immense wooden doors on each of the three altars. The conch shells trumpeted their call to the faithful, announcing the imminent appearance of the deities. The curtains drew back, and the Govindam prayers boomed over the loudspeaker. Srila Prabhupada, followed by all the devotees, offered his prostrate obeisances first to his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and their lordships, Sri Gaura Nitai, then to the two moon-like brothers, Sri Krishna Balaram, and finally to the brilliant forms of Sri Radha Shyamsundar. After taking a little Charnamrit, Prabhupada walked across the black and white checkered marble floor and mounted the steps to his carved marble Vyasasan. As he sat flanked by ornamental lions and devotees offered Guru Puja, chanting the prayers Sri Guru Charna Padma. Each devotee came forward to offer a flower to his lotus feet and bow before him. Everyone relished this opportunity to glorify Srila Prabhupada in person. It is a daily act of humble submission and affirmation of our full commitments to his service and a reminder to our flickering minds that without him we are nothing. As the kirtan ended, Harikesa moved forward to swing the microphone around in front of Prabhupada's mouth. Prabhupada's voice rang out over the loudspeakers. Jayam Vishnupada, Paramahansa Parivrajakaachara Astotra Sata Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. The devotees bowed their heads to the ground in obeisance to the disciplic successions, the, the, the Panchatattva, the holy dhams, the Vaishnavas, and all the assembled devotees. Then Harikesha passed Prabhupada his kartals. We sat down to listen and respond Prabhupada's sweet and melodious voice as he glorified Sri Sri Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhav, Kunja Vihari, Gopi Janna Vallabha, Bhavagiri Varahari, Yashodanandan, Braja Janaranjan, Jamuna Tira, Panchari. His eyes closed in concentration, his face showing the intensity of his meditation on the objects of his love and worship in the groves of Vrindavan on the banks of the Yamuna river. He infused new meaning and freshness into the song. Though he sings it every day before class, his brass kartals rang out, quickening the pace, and the devotees' voices swelled in response. Just as it came to a heart-filling crescendo, the kartals gave their final three metallic rings, dung, 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 and everyone knelt with their heads to the floor as Prabhupada recited the Prem Dhwani prayers again. Harikes jumped up again, removed Prabhupada's kartal, and quickly hung a small microphone around his neck, the other end of which he connected via a two-way switch to the large reel-to-reel tape recorder that he had carried since the morning walk. He handed Srila Prabhupada the Bhagavatam, an Indian Sanskrit edition containing the commentaries of different acharyas that Prabhupada uses for his evening translation work. Already opened to the proper page, he carefully slipped Prabhupada's spectacles unto him. Then Harikesa said to let the devotees in responsive chanting of the Sanskrit verse, loudly reciting the translation before Srila Prabhupada began his lecture. Prahlad Maharaj continued to speak. My dear friend, born of demonic families, the happiness which is perceived with reference to this sense can be obtained in any form of life according to one's past fruitive activities. Such happiness is automatically obtained as sometimes we obtain distress without any endeavor. Harikes also wore a neck microphone plugged into the same small box with a two-way switch as Prabhupada's. He recorded himself and then threw the switch to record Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada read out the verse Sukham Andriyaka Tatya Teha Yogena Tehinam Sarvatra Labheta Devad Yatha Dukham Ayatna. Sometimes speaking with his eyes closed in complete concentration and sometimes opening them. Surveying his audience, he propounded the ancient philosophy of Srimad Bhagavatam in the modern context. He quoted other Sanskrit verses profusely, cross-referencing each point with the other works such as the Bhagavad Gita and the Puranas or the Upanishads. His explanations are always clear and potent. Srila Prabhupada is amazingly skilled at conveying the most profound and complex philosophical concept in a way that anyone can easily understand and apply. Having grasped the very essence of life, its meaning and purpose, he can present it for the understanding of both ordinary people and intellectuals. Punctuating his lecture with analogies and vivid practical examples, he told a story to illustrate that the sense of material enjoyments is the same for all living beings, whether dog, hog, or human being. There was a prostitute called Lakshahira, whose charge was 1 lakh of pieces of diamond. It doesn't matter a big diamond or a small diamond. That was her charge. So one man was suffering from leprosy. He was assisted by his wife, a very faithful wife. So still he was Morris. The wife asked the husband, "Why you are Morris? I am giving you so much service. You are leper. You cannot move. I take you on a basket and carry you. Still you feel unhappy." So he admitted, "Yes." "Oh, what is the cause?" I want to go to prostitute Lakshmira. Just see, he is leper, a poor man, and he is aspiring to have a prostitute who charges 100,000 pieces of diamond. So anyway, she was a faithful wife. She wanted to satisfy her husband. Some way or another, she arranged. Then, when the leper was at the house of the prostitute gave him very nice dishes of food, but everything in two dishes. Everything, one in the golden pot and one in the iron pot. So while he was eating, he asked prostitute, "Why you are given me in two pots?" "Because I want to know whether you feel different taste in different pots." So he said, "No, I don't find any difference of taste. The soup in the golden pot, the soup in the iron pot, the taste is the same. Then why you are come here?" In the same way, Prabhupada explained about distress. If a man is a millionaire, he still suffers same distress from thyroid fever as thyroid fev- sorry, my bad, typhoid fever as a poor man. Happiness and unhappiness are the same in different pots. This is knowledge. From this from these simple stories, he derived a profound conclusion. This is foolishness. The whole world is going on like that. They are simply trying to taste the same thing in different pot. That's all. They are not detestful. No, sir, I have tasted enough. That is called Vairagya Vidya. No more tasting. It is all the same. Either I take in this pot or in that pot. Therefore, it is said, Sukham and Dhyaka, these sense pleasure, whether you enjoy as a dog or a human being or a demigod or as a European or as an American or as an Indian. The taste is the same. This is very important. You cannot have a better taste. Better taste is only Krishna consciousness. It doesn't matter in which pot I am in at the present moment. Ahetu ya aparithat. You can
Apratihata.
taste Aprihata. You can taste Krishna consciousness without any hesitation, without any check, and without any hindrance. After half an hour, he brought the class to an end. The devotees shouted, "Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai." Again, Harikesh sprang into action, deftly removing Srila Prabhupada's spectacles, the microphone from his neck, the Bhagavatam, and handling him his cane, all as he stepped down from the Vyasasan to go out the door. At the top of the steps leading out onto the path, I waited with his shoes, slipping into them. Srila Prabhupada walked the 100 yards past the temple towards the guest house. The devotees followed, dancing and chanting Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada passed through the open veranda into the small secretary's room and through the door on the right into his sitting room. This is the room that Prabhupada uses for both giving darshana and walking. He propped his cane in the corner next to the door and then slipped out of his outdoor shoes into his slippers. Prabhupada never walks barefoot, even inside. I helped to remove his coat and hat. Prabhupada sat for a few minutes looking outside through the three tall, narrow windows paired with the ornamental grille work into the small tulsi garden with the solitary tree. Surveying his room, he glanced appreciatively at the large shelves displaying copies of his translation of Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. He requested that we hang his flower garlands on the various beautiful original oil paintings or the photos of deities and devotees adorning the walls. The garlands were to be left hanging until dry and then removed. He was complained that In the past, the devotees cleaning his room have unnecessarily removed the garlands while still fresh. As soon as his breakfast was served, we walked the other door to his prasadam room. He sat on a seat behind one of the two long wooden tables called chowkis. On his chowki was a silver water tumbler, a packet of toothpicks, and a small handbell to summon his servant. Should he want anything else? From this seat, Prabhupada can look over the small back veranda into his enclosed garden. The original painting of Krishna taking prasadam in the company of his friends, used for the cover of the first Hare Krishna cookbook, smiled down on Prabhupada as he took his meal. The Sauri Dãsa and other ladies prepared Prabhupada's breakfast. It consisted of various cut fruits, seedless grapes, guava, banana, orange, pomegranate, and whatever else was freshly available at the market. With this, he had a small bowl of fried chira, flattened rice mixed with peas, another of fried cashew nuts, and a small piece of Shandesh milk sweet. One item is vital to Prabhupada's breakfast: ginger soaked in lemon juice. He won't start breakfast without it, as it stimulates his digestion. Srila Prabhupada ate little and very slowly as an act of devotion, prasad seva, service. Rather than indulging the tongue, when he finished, cleared his plate and wiped the plate as he sat and cleansed his teeth. It surprised me to see that his teeth moved apart when he inserted the wooden pick, but Prabhupada just laughed out about it. When he finished, he held out his open palm for to tip me to tip a little Bhaskar Lavan, an Ayurvedic digestive powder, into. Taking his head back, he dropped in the powder. Then, still maintaining the pose, he poured in some water from the tumbler without touching it to his lips. After washing his mouth and hands in the bathroom, he returned to his darshan room. Sometimes Prabhupada sits in his darshan room after breakfast and chats with his servants for a few minutes, usually commenting on the present state of the world. These moments are especially sweet to be with Prabhupada as he sits relaxed and casual, basking in the warmth of his intimate association. This
Okay,
morning was
now hold on. We'll have the next one now. Who is the next in line?
I can read.
Who is that? I cannot see.
Dimple.
Okay, carry on.
Hare Krishna. This morning was particularly memorable. The sun was shining
But hold
brightly
on. Who read before? Who was before? Who was the before reading?
yes, Prabhu, it was me, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mata. Thank you so much for
Thank
the
you so
reading.
much, Prabhu, for giving me the opportunity.
Okay, carry on, Mata. The next one reading, please.
Thank you, Prabhuji. This morning was particularly memorable. The sun was shining brightly through the tall and narrow windows, casting patches of dazzling light on the clean white sheets on the floor. He sat comfortably in the middle, his legs crossed, right ankle resting on the left knee, his fingers loosely intertwined. He closed his eyes briefly and enjoyed the warmth of the sun as it danced upon his golden form. Seeing the opportunity, Hansadutta, Rishikesh, and I sat on either side of him, just happy to be with him in a quiet moment. He began to reflect on the unfortunate state of the world's inhabitants. He explained that due to a lack of knowledge about the Supreme Lord, people are suffering. Under the false impression, of being independent, they commit all kinds of sinful acts, not knowing and not caring for the results, foolishly thinking that they're free to do as they like. But when the volume of sinful life becomes too great, they suffer the consequences in the form of pestilence or war. They think that by politics and meetings they can avoid such things, but that is not possible. They are helpless to prevent them, and therefore they receive their punishment through the threefold miseries of life. At just the right moment, nature brings the demons together and engage them in war.
Hmm.
illustrate the point, he gave an amusing but striking example of how Maya works.
Hold on, Mata. I'm not get the song. Start again.
Yes, sorry. To illustrate the point, he gave an amusing but striking example of how Maya works. In my young days, we had one teacher. Whenever there was any misbehavior between the boys, the teacher would stop them and bring them out to the front of the class. He would make them stand face to face and each take hold of the ears of the other, and on his order, make them pull. So the one he is pulling and the other is hurting, so he pulls back even harder, and each one is pulling and crying, but they cannot let go because the teacher is ordering. No, you cannot stop, you must go on pulling. Similarly, Maya brings together one Churchill and one Hitler. Now rascal pull, and neither can stop, and the foolish people glorify them. The thought of the scene so humored him that even before he finished he began to laugh heartily. His shoulders and belly shook, and his brilliant teeth flashed like pearls in the sun. When Prabhupada smiles, the entire room, even the universe, seems to light up. It's a Vaikuntha smile that spreads transcendental effulgence everywhere around. Prabhupada's mood was so open and congenial, it seemed if just for a moment that we had joined a picnic with Krishna and his cowherd boyfriends, joking and laughing in the forests of Goloka. We laughed with him, glancing at each other in appreciation and wonder as to who this extraordinary personality Srila Prabhupada really is. He is far beyond our comprehension, yet we feel ourselves extremely fortunate to share these intimate moments with him. It was an entrancing moment, and it occurred to me that Srila Prabhupada must have many friends in the spiritual world with whom he can eternally enjoy happy and carefree days. Yet, being extraordinarily merciful, he chooses to be here among us. Although the most exalted personality, he appears to like nothing better than to be with his disciples, foolish and neophytes as we are. He gives the impression there is no one in the world he would rather be with, and nothing he would rather be doing than sharing whatever he has with us, although we have nothing to give him in return that could possibly be of interest to him. It seems a lopsided relationship, but Prabhupada doesn't mind. He is not looking for anything for himself, only to see what he can give us. As a result, we have obtained more than any of us can ever have hoped for. After chatting with us, Prabhupada took rest upstairs on a mattress in the sun for about half an hour. He reserved the time from 10 a.m. until 11:15 a.m. for special guests and discussed management of the temple with senior devotees. Sometimes he replies his mail during this period also. Today he dealt with a wide range of people and projects. He is negotiating the offer of a Goshala near Mathura, the opening of a post office in our future Gurukul building, and the establishment of a bank branch in the guest house. These arrangements will provide better facilities for the devotees and guests, which will result in the temple becoming a greater focus of the local community activity. When more people come, more preaching can go on, the net result being that Krishna consciousness will further increase and more souls will be saved from the clutches of material existence. Prabhupada confronted a variety of topics in today's mail, from orchestrating the worldwide production and distribution of his books through the efforts of enthusiastic followers to solving the personal problems of a disciple struggling with Maya to encouraging the newly entrusted, a university teacher in Copenhagen and a distressed young man in Australia. Everyone received his close personal guidance and attention. Rameshwara, head of the American division of the Book Trust, reported a recent new record in the book distribution. In a one-day competition, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Atlanta temples distributed 5,406 hardbound books, with some individual devotees selling over 200 each. Rameshwara's report was dramatic. Our men are willing to do anything to please you, and all of them have dedicated their whole lives to distributing these books. Our only desire is that you may kindly bless us with greater and greater desire to distribute these books all over the world until every home has whole libraries of your books. By your divine grace's blessings, we will never stop distributing these books. We are thinking that this is the highest pleasure in all the three worlds. Prabhupada's response was equally enthusiastic. Your report of book sales is over encouraging. You are all becoming very, very dear to my Guru Maharaj. I started this movement by book selling. I was never a beggar for money, but I was writing books and selling. My Guru Maharaj very much liked my writing and he used to show others in my absence. Just see how nicely he has written, how he has appreciated. He encouraged me and my god brothers. They also liked my writing. After I wrote that poem for Vyasa Puja of my Guru Maharaj, they used to call me poet. Anyway, I was working, writing books and publishing BTG alone, but I couldn't give the thing shape. So I decided to go to the USA, and now you all nice boys and girls have helped me so much. It's all the mercy of Krishna. Thank you very much. Yashodanandan Maharaj and Achyutananda Swami are touring South India, and Prabhupada plans to meet them in Nellore in a few weeks. They are arranging programs for him in a large hall in Madras, where their party has met with a good reception. They also sent a favorable report of their book distribution. They are holding pandals, making life members, and distributing the scientific basis of Krishna consciousness written by Swarup Damodar, one of Prabhupada's disciples.
We're gonna change now? Shall we change?
We can change.
The last of the Mohicans.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you to all the Vaishnavas.
Thank
So much.
you. Thank you for reading, Martha. It was really great. Who is the next one? We have more like 10 minutes. What's the last reading? Sovik, Antara, Neha. Okay. Antara, carry on.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Although each of their men sells only a few copies of one small book and collect 150 rupees per day, Prabhupada considers this a good beginning and his expectations are high. There is tremendous field in India for selling books. He wrote, if you continue this effort, you will soon compete with America. Gopala Krishna is arranging to print Srimad Bhagavatam in Hindi. First Canto Volume 1,15,000 copies. Also Bhagavad Gita as it is. So there is a big field in India.
600 million. 600 million people.
600 billion people. In every home, there should be at least one BBT publication. So the field is very big. Ajay Dasa, the president of Boston Temple, has begun holding the lectures at local universities, where he distributes prasadam and magazines. The devotees have made applications to teach courses on Krishna consciousness in several colleges, and they have established a new center in Amherst, a big college town. Prabhupada was extremely happy to hear this, for one of his greatest ambitions is to see his books studied seriously in the schools and the colleges of the world. He replied, I am very pleased to note that you are attempting to preach seriously in the schools and the colleges. Prahlada Maharaja, a great devotee and the authority in our line, said, Krishna consciousness should be taught from the very beginning of childhood. The defect of modern education is that the children are taught all nonsense things. They do not receive even the first point of knowledge that I am pure spirit soul, part and parcel of God. This simple fact that have yet to learn. So if you can teach them just this one point, it will be a great success, because this is the basic platform of advancing in spiritual understanding. If we want to read and write, then it is essential to learn first all the ABCs. A brahmachari in England asked for guidance in his service and ashrama after a period of difficulty, and Prabhupada encouraged him to push on. From your letter, it appears that you are a little confused. This means that the consciousness is not clear. Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma, na shochati na kangshati. The clear stage of consciousness is free from hankering and lamentation. As long as we are on the material platform, bodily conception of life, we will hanker after so many things required for material supremacy. Therefore, to clear this cloudy consciousness, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended that one should simply chant the holy name of God sincerely and hear it with attention. So chant, dance, and take prasadam and be happy. Marriage is not recommended. Are you prepared to get a job? Live outside the temple in an apartment. Provide the wife with bangles, saris, and sex. Better you concentrate on this chanting and hearing process. Then teach others and give them prasadam. Prabhupada has attracted the attention of people in all walks of life, and his replies to non-devotees are equally to the point. When Mark Phillips, a young Australian married man, sent a flattering cry of distress, Prabhupada offered the universal uh, panacea. Yes, you are eternally related to the Lord as servants. So naturally, when we forget our eternal relationship as servants of the Supreme Master Krishna, we suffer. Therefore, Krishna advised everyone in Bhagavad Gita to simply surrender to him and he will take care of us. In Australia, we have got our temples. Consult the Back to Godhead magazine for the temple nearest you. Please visit the temple and take advantage of the pure spiritual atmosphere. This will immediately extinguish the burning fire of material suffering in your heart. Meanwhile, I humbly request you to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This chanting will bring you all perfection of life. Please try it. Dr. Yogi Rajdev Sir teaches yoga at the University of Copenhagen and has recently obtained a Indian government grant to begin a yoga institute in New Delhi. He wrote a letter expressing his appreciation of Prabhupada's work and asking how he can help the mission. Prabhupada replied, I thank you very much for your kind appreciation. Because you are a teacher in a respectable university, I request you to study some of my books, especially Bhagavad Gita as it is. As stated in the Gita, Mama Shamamya Ma chito yukta ashita mat paraha. One should meditate upon me, Krishna, within the heart and make me the ultimate goal of life. Bhagavad Gita 6.13 to 14. Western people are now becoming more and more interested in yoga practice, but unfortunately, because they have no authorized source of information, they are being misled by unauthorized teachers and concocted methods of yoga practice. Actually, the Ashtanga yoga system practiced thousands of years ago is not practical for this age. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the chanting of holy name of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In all our temples, we are doing that. And we have more than 40 big volumes of authorized books, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, etc. Intelligent people are accepting this movement all over the world. So if you are serious about joining this mission, then why not study these books, understand the philosophy, and teach? Should I continue?
Okay. I think now we did 1 hour. Is everybody
Yes, Prabhu.
okay? Everybody is agree with that. So let me see here. Okay. So
Okay.
I think we can finish now. And somebody is recording. Who is recording? I'm recording?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can stop